Hello and welcome back to Shimrath Plays Caves of Qud. These are the continuing adventures of Oyuun, the Axe Marauder. We are going to start off by adjusting some of the options in our game, and we'll talk about why as we do this. So we're going to hit escape, we're going to go to options here, and the ones we want are not in general or controls, but they are in the overlay. We want to... One of the things I noticed in the last session while editing the video was that we picked up a bunch of useful items, and they weren't things that we looted off of a corpse. We found some items in the lair of the glow pad that I didn't even notice until we switched places with a glow pad in the dungeon and saw the little icon for like a water skin. And it ended up being a huge pile of loot. We had already auto picked up the valuable stuff, but the normal equipment had been left behind. And then when we ran into the acid cloud of the legendary ape, we ended up picking up the gaslight saber and a couple of recoilers just off the ground from somewhere. So it seems pretty clear to me that there is good stuff sometimes laying on the ground, and potentially you won't notice it because of all the various graphics on the thing. So there is a option right here called Show Overlay Nearby Objects List, and we're not going to do that. We are going to, darn it, oh, I lost it. We are going to enable this by pressing space. Okay, and then it also asks, it gives a scale, which we'll find out once we see what this looks like, if we need to adjust it or not. I guess we can make it bigger or smaller. And then we have to decide whether we want pools of liquid to show up nearby. I think it'll be fairly obvious when there's plants and liquids nearby. So that'll be that. And then the other thing we want to do, because we're going to talk about whether we should continue to wield our axe and chop people's limbs off, or switch to this this lightsaber type of weapon, right? I did lightsaber in air quotes with my fingers, but clearly you can't see my fingers. Just to say, there's no copyright infringement here. This is a gaslight weapon. So the one we're looking for is an option that tells us display, here we go, display detailed weapon penetration and damage in name, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Okay, so that's that. We're going to go ahead and press escape and return to the game. Now, we're going to look at our inventory, and you'll notice something a little different here. Like this is a good example here. The steel battle axe. Instead of just saying penetration 7 now, the detailed view gives you this shadowy /7. What this means is right now when we wield the steel battle axe, we have a 7 penetration. This tells you the maximum penetration that weapon could possibly yield, right? I think if we look at the battle axe, let's see, it tells us there's a strength bonus cap of 3. So right now we already have a strength bonus of 3, which means we're maxed out on this weapon. The weapon is of a size and strength that only a certain amount of strength can be put behind it to good effect. But there are weapons that have a higher possible penetration value. And therefore it's good to know, okay, I'm maxed out in this weapon, or if I get stronger, this weapon will be even better in my hands. And the whole reason I'm looking at this is because what we want to do is now go to what I'm wielding and look at this gaslight Fleisa. It is /9 out of 9. So it's one of the things I read about this weapon is that if we look at it, we'll be able to see this. Its strength bonus cap is 0, which means it has a penetration of 9 regardless of your strength. This is a very powerful weapon, especially good for characters that have very low strength, right? You can get to a 9 penetration, which would take a very high strength to get to normally, and you also have to have a pretty darn good weapon to even benefit from that +9. So it's at 9 out of 9. The other thing is at 7 out of 7. So right now, in my hands, this Fleisa is actually a better weapon to use, except for the fact that it is not going to... we're not going to be able to benefit from our dismember. But I have a plan. And the plan is to not explore this area just yet, but instead to go back to the merchant, the Glowpad merchant specifically, I believe, and see what we might be able to do with that. So the easiest way to get there is just to go to the overland map. Now, my map doesn't seem to be marked. I'm going to go back down and see. Yes, okay. It's in the very same parasang as we're in. We're going to go to the oddly hued Glowpad square that we explored fairly thoroughly. And we remember that that Glowpad is lurking over here in the corner someplace, if he hasn't moved places. There I am, shooting some wax on the ground. I also don't see the nearby object interface. I wonder where it is. It's not anywhere here behind me, so I guess I'll have to do a little more looking around. But it may just be that we're not near anything that it wants to tell us we're near. So let's find him. And up here there's an object, so let's see. Okay, you pass by. Oh boy, I just got a bunch more stuff. So clearly something happened here. It could very well be that the legendary ape came and killed the Glowpad merchant, because those items that I have, the recoilers and the symbols, I noticed were exactly the same as things that he had in his inventory. So I think that is what happened. I'm pretty sure that the merchant is dead, and now hopefully we're just going to get all of his stuff. Oh, we are. Okay. The folded carbide battle axe is exactly the thing I was looking for. And now that we have the detailed view on, we can see that if I wield it right now, or if I wield it right now, will I be at a penetration of 7? I think I probably will, but it allows for a penetration of 9. So if my strength gets high enough, I will have a 9 penetration. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to read a little more about this, because I don't know if this first number is its base or what I will actually wield it with. One of the things we can... This is really good. I'm just going to take all this stuff, obviously. I'm going to pick all of this stuff up by hitting tab. And hopefully I'm not completely overburdened at this point. I feel like I should probably go up and thank this legendary ape for beating that merchant up, but to be honest, even though I got a whole bunch of stuff out of the deal, I think it may be more beneficial to have this merchant around later. I want to just see what these corpses are. Oh, it doesn't tell me what it is. Pass by a human corpse. I think that was one of the followers of Ubor. I forget his name. Ubor, darn it, I can't remember, another human corpse. So yeah, the guys that wore the masks and cleaned their faces to appease their gods. Here's a few more of them. Let us go and look at and speak to. This is a glowfish. I'm going to move right here, and I'm going to look at, okay, Koyo Kumukumukam, the colorful, legendary albino ape. He or she is currently wading in the water. Set in the middle of the great white head of this ape are 2 red eyes that gleam with a savage intellect. Snowy white fur covers the ape's hulking frame. She lifts an enormous fist and beats her chest in fury as you approach. She is loved by apes. She is disliked by the Kalish terror cabal for casting doubt on their beliefs. And luckily, they are neutral. So, let us chat with the ape. Okay. And I think I am definitely going to share water with this creature. Alright, we begin the water ritual. I got another achievement. I think I basically have just shared water with enough people that I got an achievement on Steam. No big deal, but kind of interesting. Your reputation with apes increased by 100 to 100, and it went down with that cabal that they hate. So I cannot learn, I don't have enough reputation to learn any of the things, but I could ask to share a secret. I think instead of learning a secret, I will, it's tempting to learn a secret. It could lead to another quest, but we can always do that another time. I will call her my water sister and end the water ritual, and then see if there's anything to trade. Oh my goodness. They do have a lot to trade. Alright, and I have a bunch of stuff, so I suppose it might, okay, just the stuff that is here. Just looking at everything off the thing, I don't see anything that really jumps out at me. So for right now, we're just going to go ahead and say live and drink. What we're going to do is we're going to look at our inventory at this point because we have a lot of stuff to examine. We will close down some of these. We have some bark armor, plastifer, okay, plastifer gloves, which we'll examine, a sap-stained fullerite armet. Wow, those gives a pretty high armor value. And then we've got weird artifacts. So let's start by examining these weird artifacts. That's an EMP grenade, type 3. EMP grenade, I believe, will basically create an EMP pulse that will make robots freak out, go wonky. So stop working. Examine. This is a, oh my god, this is a laser rifle, penetration 9 and 1d12 damage with a chem cell. So it's basically about the best, one of the best kind of range weapons you can probably get. I want to look at it. I think it's bows and rifles. Its accuracy is high. It weighs 10 pounds. If it's two-handed, I might be out of luck because my wax fab hand is basically not going to allow me to hold that thing. But we'll see if we can do it. You can tell by the symbols on these other two weird artifacts that they're also grenades, but we don't know what kind, so we'll examine them. That's a stasis grenade. I have no idea what that does. And this is a defoliant grenade, which kills plants, right? Let's see, we're gonna go ahead and here's a hand that we can eat when we get hungry. We got a couple of these. Now we're talking about grenades, bandages. We got a whole bunch of different weapons here, but I think because our whole deal is dismembering people that we're gonna go with this folded carbide battle axe. We are going to equip this instead of the gaslight Fleisa, even though that does more damage and has better penetration. I feel like I'm having more fun chopping people's faces off and stuff, so yeah, don't know if that's a good choice or a bad choice, but we're making it. And the rest of this stuff we are just gonna sell when we get a chance, and it's gonna be worth a lot. Compound bow, laser rifle. Okay, I'm gonna try to equip the laser rifle. Your desert rifle was unequipped, so I can use this. I'm gonna unload the desert rifle, and I'll be using a laser rifle instead of that stuff. Shade oil. Okay. Other than that, I think we are good. Let's go to what we're currently wearing. We're wearing leather armor, which is 3 -2. We have the Isakari banner, which gives us back one of those dodge value points. We have a wet wooden buckler, which is 1 and 1. And then that's it. So we don't have anything on our feet, and we can't wear anything on our hands because of the stinking wax flab. But what we can do, if we look at our inventory, is we can put this fullerite thing on, but let's look at it first. This is a dark visored helmet made of jet black fullerite, and that gives us a lot of armor, so we're definitely going to equip it. Oops, go back to inventory. Just to confirm, we cannot equip the gloves because of the wax flap, so that's too bad. And we don't have anything else. We don't have anything to put on our feet. Or, yep, we didn't get any kind of any kind of footwear. So that is it for what we've got equipped. Now, if you look up here, we have an armor value of 6, which is really good. It's very good. I think one of the tutorial, like kind of beginner's guide to the game says, don't venture into more dangerous areas until you get an armor value of at least 6, right? So we're there. Our dodge value is kind of low because we're wearing pretty heavy armor, but we're looking pretty good as far as things go. So now we have a choice. We could, I think, what we might want to do is go back and chat with our water sibling and trade a few things, because there's definitely some stuff like this armor that we're not going to wear. We're not going to sell those things. We have some grenades which we'll hold on to. I don't think I'm going to ever default back to the bronze battle axe. We're not going to use daggers or long swords, and that's worth 136 drams of water right there. The gaslight flysa I think I'm going to hold on to, just because it does have a better penetration and damage, and in a pinch we might want to go back to that. I don't know that I'm ever going to go back to this steel battle axe either, so I think I'm going to get rid of it. We're not going to use a compound bow or a desert rifle because we have this other thing instead. I don't know if items can break, so I don't know if it's really like maybe I could hang on to the desert rifle instead of sell it just in case as a backup missile weapon. And then the rest of the stuff, this is really insulting, but I'm going to sell albino ape pelts to the legendary ape and hope that they don't pound me into the ground as a result. Ooh. I am also going to look at this stuff. I already have a helmet, so I can't wear any of that. The coat or the helm or the kilt, I don't think. That's all armor. They have a weird artifact for 100. I'm looking at getting 283 drams of water out of this. The problem is, do I have enough water skins to carry all that water? And the answer is probably no, but what I could do is trade it all for one of these beaded bracelets. So let's offer it and see if I can carry it. 283 drams. Let's say yes. Okay, you don't have enough water containers. Do you want to complete the trade for 217 drams that you can store? I'm going to say no. And then I'm going to just take off some of this stuff until we get it down to 217. All right, there's 213. You know what? It is insulting. I'm not going to sell any of these pelts because it would be a great insult. And just from a role player standpoint, you don't sell the skin of their companions to a legendary ape. So now we're going to offer the same stuff, and we'll get 178 drams, and the trade is complete. Okay, looking good. That took a while to do, but I feel like it was very worth it. I'm going to tell them to live and drink, and we are just going to cruise back down here, make sure there's nothing else on the ground, which I don't think there will be because there weren't any other creatures involved in the fight. And then I guess we'll head back to that ruin, which I believe was right up the road here. In fact, I think we should be back. Okay, we're there. All right, now let's think about this. Let's look at our character sheet. We have only 74 skill points and 1 mutation point, so we're up to date as far as leveling stuff goes. So here we go with our exploration. I like to explore, as I've said before, the perimeter of the area first. I don't know how dangerous it's going to be. Okay, that is anything in gray often here is stuff that I can hear with my heightened hearing. So there is a crab creature over here. So I'm going to just go back the other way real quick. Crab creatures can be fairly dangerous. Oh, here's another one, and it's headed towards us. So let's test out our laser rifle, shall we? It doesn't look like I have a clear shot here. It is less than a certain number of squares away, so I think what I'm going to do is charge. I don't think I can see it though, huh? I think I'm still in Yeah, exactly. Okay. So let us do this instead. Go here. Now we can see it. I still want to test out my rifle, so we're going to fire a laser rifle. Bam, we hit it for 6. Let's do it again. Alright, now we're in combat, so we are going to dismember this giant crab. Like so. I know these crabs have a very high armor value, but we hit it, and it is bloody. And we're going to just try it again, I guess. Make sure we have 16 hit points. I don't want to get killed at this point after we accumulate all these awesome things. Alright, there we go. Now, what is here? If I push get, I take the eyeless crab's left mid-leg. I'm not hungry right now, but that is most certainly meat, so I'll just go ahead and hold on to it. And I will stand here and rest. Okay, we're ready to continue our exploration. Now we know we can beat an eyeless crab once we've softened it up a bit. Continue to explore these ruins. This ruin was called Uwar, so it wasn't the lair of any legendary creature or anything like that, but still could be very dangerous. Alright, lots of buildings. No danger. The good thing about this is if I didn't have heightened hearing, I would basically be just moving through hoping that there's not something terribly dangerous at the edge of my light source. But thanks to my hearing, I'm going to actually see the shadows of those creatures and hear them moving around before I get to them. So we'll have a little bit of forewarning, and we can decide whether we want to proceed or not. For example, that I think is a giant centipede, if I've played the game enough to know the shapes of these creatures. Giant centipede, no big deal. And then we're back to here. Okay. Why is this wall different? Because it is graffitied. It says, I think indubitably for something something it's so, proclaimed it so, there was no color in the ether. Alright, somebody had a good time graffitiing the wall. Now we'll head in to the structures. Wax dripping off my body, as usual. So the option of nearby objects doesn't seem to have worked, so I will read more about it and try to get it functioning. And when I do so, I might be in better shape. Well, this place doesn't look too dangerous, but don't get too comfortable and start running around quickly, because you can very quickly run into danger and find yourself unable to escape it. So we have an escape route. We're kind of keeping the explored region behind us, and I'm just going to go up and make sure that's not an opening. There probably will be some stairs leading down at some point. Okay, so question mark means I hear something. I don't know what it is. And then I think when I get closer I see the shape, so I start to recognize that there may be a colony of centipedes in here. And behind that door lurk the centipedes. So let us bash them. I'll go ahead and dismember. And we're 3rd level. Alright. Now, we could keep fighting, but instead of continuing to fight, let's immediately go to our character sheet. We have an attribute point. So, we want to get strong as quickly as we possibly can. So, I think we made a note for ourselves in a previous episode that said, always dump your ability scores into strength and always spend your skill points on axe-related things, right? So, we are going to press spacebar and say, yes, we would like to increase our strength to 24. Yes. Alright, we now have a 24 strength. Let's also slide over to skills, and with 148, we're 2 points short of being able to get cleave, or we don't really, I don't think I really want hook and drag. I don't think I'm going to be aiming for that too early. And we're not going to spend our points on anything else because we want to be sure to have the points when we need it. So we're going to just let this centipede come to us, and then we're going to smash it. All right, and there's a jug here. A glass bottle, a vessel of exquisitely blown glass. The style hints that it originates from the coast of Fuming God Sea on the far side of Mogra Yi, and that it was likely exported by the Dromads. All right, so we don't know. Oh, it has 1 dram of oil inside it. So let's go ahead. Oops. Let's go ahead and get it. It's not owned by us. Do we want to take it? Well, yeah, we want to take it. We just fought hard for it. All right, so we finished exploring the map. Can't go that way. But we can go down here. No. There's got to be a stairwell somewhere. Here's a door. All right, look at this. We're going to open, and we're going to take all these books. Ooh, take all. All right, so we have cleared the books out of the shelves, and now we'll go and explore the rest. I don't think Oyuun reads much, but Oyuun knows that these books have value to others and that we can get money for them. And at some point somebody might tell Oyuun that there's a place where you can go where a librarian will read the books to you, or at least give you the Cliff Note version and help you to understand what's within. Let's see. All right, what is this? It's a campfire. All right, so there's a campfire. And I didn't see any creatures moving around in here, so I didn't hear anything with my heightened hearing. I mean, looks like there's maybe, it's just a campfire. Okay, I thought maybe there's ashes there or something too. All right, next area. Still no stairs leading up. Oh, another bookcase. All right, we're gonna take those books. Seems like we discovered a library of sorts. No stairs leading down. I just want to make sure my rear flank is covered before we go and open some more doors. All right, so let's open this stuff. That has nothing in it. Would we like to store something in it? No. Is this also empty? Open. Underneath us? No. Open. That one? Guess there's nothing in these. No, a vase with 6 drams of honey. Why is it not letting me open that honey? Give me the honey, honey. How about get? There's nothing to take. That's a woven basket. All right. What if, I think Oyuun gets a little frustrated and he strikes out at these things and destroys them. There. Now I think I can get, I might not be able to get the honey because, let's see, close down our different areas here. Onyx tools, trade goods, containers. I can't pick it up because all I have is, I don't have any containers to collect the honey in, so I don't know why I couldn't pick the whole thing up, but it is what it is. All right, we've explored the area. So we're off to continue towards our quest location, which is to the northeast. Go up here and click this, and we'll see that we're not too many parasangs away from the hills where we want to explore. So, all right, in the next episode, we'll continue our way to the quest and hopefully successfully complete it and not get killed. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode.